Hello again. Well, I promised a backstory. Here we go. It's August of 2000. My now ex-wife had just given birth to my daughter. A few weeks later, I go into my doctor, to have a lump looked at here in my left armpit. Like I had said before, what I felt was about the size of a bratwurst. Didn't feel anything, too terribly bad. Thought it was an inflamed lymph node for whatever reason. They can get inflamed for hundreds of reasons, right? Doctor said, well, let's rather be safe than sorry, right? So let's just do a biopsy, have a surgeon come in, take a piece out, take a look. That way we know for sure. So went in for surgery. This is late August of 2000. They did a frozen specimen, looked at it under the microscope while I was still sedated for the same surgery. Came back cancerous, so they proceeded to go back in and take it all out. By the time the surgeon was done removing pieces, like I said in my previous video, it was about the size of one of those small basketballs, that most people can hold with, one hand. I woke up from surgery. Nobody would tell me anything until the surgeon came in. Surgeon came in that evening and gave me the news that they had removed it and that it was cancerous. They were then going to refer me to an oncologist for treatment. Go from one of the greatest days of my life, the day my daughter was born, to less than a month later, finding out you have cancer. Talk about a roller coaster of a month. Got in to see the oncologist. They said it appeared that it was all localized. Did a CT scan, full body. It did appear to be localized above the diaphragm, so they were very hopeful, very certain that they had gotten it all. So we did radiation therapy. They radiated everything from the diaphragm up to my jawline. Did that every day for about 6 weeks. Was able to work through it every day, Monday through Friday. Some of the side effects they didn't tell me about at the time. The hair loss from the radiated area. Lost all the hair in my armpits, all my facial hair below the jawline. My friends and family still give me crap. There's the only guy that I know that doesn't have any armpit hair, is you got irradiated and killed it off at the follicle. So if I was a woman, it'd be great. Wouldn't have to shave my armpits. But as a guy, it's kind of sucks. But nevertheless, I went through it. I survived it. Another side effect they don't tell you about with the radiation when they come up to here is now you're in your jaw, right? Well, what's connected to your jaw? Your teeth, your salivary glands. There can be dental issues later. Fortunately, I haven't had any dental issues. The other problem that you run into is it damages your saliva glands, which can lead to the dental problems. So it's almost like you're diabetic. You're thirsty all the time. Your mouth is always dry. It's just a never-ending problem. You drink like a fish. because you just don't feel like you can get enough. But again, it's better than the alternative, right? Alternative being fertilizer, which the idea of pushing up petunias does not appeal to me. It didn't then. It sure as hell doesn't now. So we went through the radiation. Back then, the technology wasn't what it is now. They put me through something called a gallium scan, which puts you on a liquid diet for 7 to 10 days. Nothing solid. This machine goes over your body, and when it comes over your face, you're talking it is this close, to your face the whole time, down your body, scanning every inch of you. Again, finished radiation, everything looked good. No problems. Everything looked like they'd gotten it all. So we went back to, we're going to see the oncologist every month. Blood work. We're going to, after a few months, we're going to go to every 6 months. We're going to do blood work, and we're going to do a CT scan, which eventually turned into a PET CT, and we'll get into one of those later. Nothing ever showed up. Everything was good for the longest time. Then May of 2005 comes along. Not symptomatic. Symptoms being night sweats, profuse night sweats. They say they're so bad that you literally have to wake up the next morning and change your sheets because it looks like somebody dumped a bucket of water on you. I'm naturally a hot sleeper anyway, so it wasn't really anything out of the ordinary for me. Blood work came back fine. PET scan showed a little something, but that was normal. I would go in for my PET scans every 6 months, and they'd show little hot spots here and there. They'd keep an eye on them. Nothing ever changed. Went in for the one in May. Okay, well, we have a new one. All right. So now, what's the plan? Plan is we contact the surgeon that took my first one out. He's going to go back in and take the second one out. Well, he wasn't available. Enter Dr. Wheeler out of Sanford Medical in Sioux Falls here. Awesome doctor. Under the circumstances, you wish you never have to meet him, but he was amazing. Went in for surgery. They were just supposed to go in and do a biopsy, just test it. Went in, checked it out, did the biopsy, saw my spleen, which was, like I said before, severely enlarged. About the size of 6 ping pong balls, about Christmas tree shaped. So he took it. A few hours later, obviously, I wake up in my recovery room, get moved over to my hospital room, and within no time, my hospital room is full of people. Not doctors, not nurses, my family. My parents, step-parents, siblings. My brother flew all the way back from Germany for this. Dr. Wheeler comes in the room, asks how I'm feeling. I told him, well, considering what you just did, you took a biopsy, I'm not feeling too bad. He goes, well, we didn't just take a biopsy. We had to take your whole spleen. And this is why Dr. Wheeler was so cool. I looked at him and I called him a damn crook. I said, that wasn't our agreement. Our agreement was you're going in there to do a biopsy. You're not going in there to steal my damn organs. he thought it was just as funny as I did, and the rest of my family kind of got a kick out of it too. Then he gave me the news that my cancer had come back. Mind you, in the last video I said if you can make it 5 years, the likelihood that it comes back is about 10%. If you've already done the math, you know where this is going. 4 years, 6 months. I made it before I got sick again. I still get goosebumps and angry when I think about it. So a lot of people's emotions go on a roller coaster when you're given this news. They get depressed, they get sad, anxious, scared. All perfectly acceptable. I didn't get any of those emotions. I was angry. I was pissed. 4 years and 6 months. If I would have made it another 6 months without this coming back, I would have been the likelihood that I would have ever gotten cancer again would have been minimal at best. No different than some other Joe Schmo that you meet walking down the street. No, my body's got other ideas for me. I look at the doctor and I said, all right, so now what do we do? He says, I don't know. That's going to be up to your oncologist. So my next comment to him was, all right, next question. So my brother just flew back from Germany. Brought a whole bunch of good... So does it matter if I go drink? And have, a good time before a shit show? I didn't know at the time. My mom is standing behind me, shaking her head no. Doctor's in front of me. I'm facing him. I said, do you mind if can I drink? He looks at me. I tell he can look at my mom. She's back there going like this. No. He goes, I didn't touch your liver. Go for it. So I did. I drank pretty heavily there for a couple of days. Eventually got in to see the oncologist again. And we came to the decision it was time to do chemo. It's ABVD is what it was called. Nasty shit. Nasty. If anybody ever has to get that, one of the chemicals that they give you is red. Looks like Kool-Aid. Don't ask what it is. I know you're going to now. But trust me, you don't want to know what they're giving you. Fortunately, I had good support system in place when this happened. I had very good friends, neighbors, family. So going through chemo started in June. My birthday's in July. That was a horrible birthday. Horrible. But I decided that I wasn't going to let this get me down. I was going to live as much of a normal life as I could. Lost all my hair. Came back brown and gray. It was blonde. Like a dirty blonde. Still, whenever I was feeling up for it, I'd still go out fishing. It was that October that a good friend of mine got me out to go pheasant hunting. Called me up one day, asked how I was feeling. I said, all in all, I'm not doing too bad. Well, you want to go out and do some road hunting? Sure, probably not going to be up for much walking, but I'd be up for some road hunting, I guess. At least go out and get out in some fresh air. I can honestly say that probably played a big part in saving my life. Or making the chemo a lot easier to deal with. It's keeping myself busy. Giving myself something to do. Mentally, physically. whether it was fishing, hunting, whatever. That August, I took a fishing trip actually out to Montana for a week. So I took one chemo treatment a little early. I took the next one a little late, just so I could go and do that. Doctor wasn't thrilled about the idea, but said it wouldn't hurt nothing. As long as I was up for the traveling. So I drove out to Montana. I went fly fishing, caught my first rainbow trout. Came home. It was great. A lot of people ask, "Oh, what about all the nausea?" It sucked. Feeling like you had the flu every 2 weeks for 3 to 5 days. Made not being able to see my kids extremely difficult. I didn't want them. It was purely selfish of me. I just didn't want them to see their dad like that week. So that made it rather very, very difficult. But the nausea, they give you all these pills to take, and like the Compazine, the whatever, it didn't work. But I am the first person that my oncologist has ever seen gain 20 pounds. Yes, gained 20 pounds going through chemo. I found a trick. Not eating your normal 3 meals a day. I was eating probably 6, 8 very, very small meals throughout the day. Get a little hungry, eat just a little bit. Get a little hungry, eat just a little bit. And I also found mushrooms, not psilocybins, matsutake, shiitake, and portobello mushrooms. There's an enzyme in them that has natural anti-nausea properties. I put them on everything. Those Tostino's pizzas that come in the red boxes, yeah, I'd slice them up, put them on there, cover it with some more cheese. I'd eat that thing all day long. It would take me all day to eat one of those pizzas. But it got me through. I wasn't as nauseous. I felt better. I was able to go out and do more, spend more time with my kids. It was as good of a situation as it could be. Finished chemo December of 2005. And I thought, that was it. We're great. Well, if you saw the other video, you know the rest of this story doesn't go out very well. But feeling a little emotional, a little choked up at the moment, so we'll cover the rest of the story in the next video. Just all take care of yourself. If you're going through this, remember, you are not alone. Your family, your loved ones are all going through this with you. You have support. You can do this.